Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Marine Conservation Society's AGM, annual general meeting, and frankly, a bit of good old-fashioned chat. Now, I am your host for this evening for the third year in a row, which just goes to show what kind of gluttons. Well, we've got some fantastic stuff for you today. I tell thee, it's going to be meaty. It's going to be meaty. Indeed, my intro is spread across here like War and Peace. It's fantastic. But look, let's get straight into it because we don't want to mess around. We do have some fantastic stuff today. We've got some great breakout sessions coming. We've obviously got updates about what's going on with the charity. We've got some awards. It's muy picante. Right, so with that in mind, again, welcome to the 30th conference for the Marine Conservation Society for the AGM, and thank you everyone for joining us here today. The theme of this evening is Rewild the Waters. Yes, looking good. Blowfish sporting it nice. Rewild our waters, and our oceans play, a critical role in our climate. So the cleaner our oceans are, the healthier our oceans are. Rewild them, the happier our planet is. Yes. Thank you first to our sponsors today, our St. Austell's Brewery and their flagship brand, Corev. Some fine ales. We are really pleased and privileged and proud to be partnered with Corev, with St. Austell's Brewery. Now, this is a brand that's inspired by the county of Cornwall, rugged rocks, fresh bracing sea air. No Yorkshire accents. I don't know why that came in there. But, think of Cornwall. Oh, it's good stuff. That's what you've got in Corev. And St. Austell themselves have made a serious and long-term commitment to sustainability. And in April 2018, it's awarded the prestigious Queen's Award for Sustainability across its operations. So that includes things like solar panels, looking to achieve zero waste to landfill, and using recyclable and sustainable CO2. So we are really proud to be connected with Corev, and if you're enjoying a cheeky pint tonight, good on you. I'm driving this ship, so I can't, but good on you. Right, now, I know many of you watching here will already be members of the AGM. Of the AGM? Members of the MCS. There's too many acronyms. I know many of you are already members of the Marine Conservation Society, and thank you once again for coming back and joining us here for the AGM. But for those of you who aren't members or joining us for the first time, I really would ask you, consider signing up, okay? You can sign up for as little as £5 a month. That is the cost of 2 Starbucks coffees. Other coffee suppliers are available. That's the cost of a pint. And in fact, if you're in London, a pint's more expensive than that. And you wouldn't think twice about saying to your mate, oh yeah, I'll get you a pint. And you wouldn't think twice about getting a couple of Starbucks or other coffee suppliers are available during your month toing and froing to work. And I hope you use a sustainable cup, eh? So think on, £5 a month can make a huge difference to us here at the Marine Conservation Society. And that allows us to go out and empower people to make a difference to their beaches. So, if you feel like you're landlocked and you want to make a difference, you really can. Support the Marine Conservation Society. It's top dollar. £5 a month. It's nout. Right. So, to more business at hand. Throughout this evening, we're going to have lots of live sessions, which will be moderated by members of our team. So please use your chat boxes if you need to get in contact, and we'll do our best to get back with you. Captions are available throughout the evening to ensure full accessibility, but sometimes there might be a bit of a delay. So we do apologise about that if there are some errors. Again, we apologise about that. I feel sorry for any kind of machine trying to keep up with me and some of the terrible filth that I spew. Oh, indeed. I wonder if it puts the accents in. Who knows? But your captions can also be turned on and off within the settings of your player window. Now, last year we held our first ever online AGM, which, again, I was at, due to the pandemic. However, the government has introduced a temporary special doodah and thingy, it's law stuff, that said that we could do it online. However, this year, that's not gone ahead. So while you may not be with us right now, we are having a physical AGM, and I will pass over to the in Reading. I think they're hiding in Reading. So just because you're not online tonight, you can still vote. It is still, all above board, all correct, and everything like that. And yes, our staff members are waiting for us at the Holiday Inn in Reading. Other Holiday Inns are available countrywide. But it's a proper meeting room, and it's far more serious than my man cave that you see behind me. So it gives me a great pleasure to send it straight over to Sandy Luck, our Chief Executive, and our Chair of Trustees, Amanda Nobbs, who will be looking back at the Marine Conservation Society work over the past year and plans for the future. Amanda, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks, Blowfish. Yes, we are indeed in Reading, and it's great to see so many of you joining us for our 30th anniversary gathering. Now, I think we need a bit of hope at the moment. And so this evening, we want to inspire you with the steps that we can take to restore our ocean, to rewild our waters. And it's important we achieve this for nature, for our climate, and for our own health and well-being. Now, my role this evening, and it's a real privilege, is to go through some of our achievements over the past year. And I want to start with two simple words, very heartfelt, and those are thank you. The dedication of our staff, ambassadors and trustees, and the commitment of our volunteers and supporters have been truly impressive and heartening. You've enabled us not just to survive through some pretty challenging times over the past few months, but with hard work and grit, I'd say to thrive. A priority for us has been to put a healthy environment at the heart of recovery from the pandemic. With sustained campaigning, we've been making progress towards ocean recovery. This year saw 4 new marine protected areas in Scotland, including a first for basking sharks and minke whales. It's critical that designated areas deliver real protection. The Scottish Government has committed to designating at least 10% of Scotland's seas as highly protected by 2026. We've promised highly protected marine areas in England too, and we were consulted on better management of England's offshore marine protected areas. These are significant signs of progress. Now we need to see action. Protecting what we have isn't enough anymore. We're involved in ocean recovery projects in 10 locations across the UK. In Wales, we received National Heritage Lottery funding for Natur am Byth, a big partnership project. We're leading the marine environment element, helping the recovery of 4 threatened species, improving water quality, and assisting the Welsh Government to identify locations for marine conservation zones. What about the health of our fisheries? Well, thanks to our latest single grant to date, we've been able to transform our Good Fish Guide, making it much easier to choose sustainable seafood. I hope you've got the app. The new Fisheries and Environment Bills took a lot of our attention. Despite our best efforts, the Fisheries Act falls short of some of our key asks. We wanted commitments to sustainable fisheries, and we wanted to see remote electronic monitoring on vessels. Everything now depends on whether we can achieve this in fisheries management frameworks, which are to be agreed under the Act. Our Clean Seas work has continued to make strides. Our latest Great British Beach Clean results show that levels of litter along our coastlines are finally showing a downward trend. I'd like to say a massive thank you to the 6,000 volunteers who took part this year, providing data to inform our campaigns. 3/4 of all litter collected is still polystyrene or plastic, which can persist for hundreds of years. A reduction in plastic bags everywhere and cotton bud sticks in Scotland, where there's a ban, tells us that interventions do work. So it's clear that a deposit return scheme for bottles and cans across the UK would make such a difference to the marine environment and enjoy public support. We're still waiting for that one. We've seen significant steps to reduce unflushables. For example, many retailers' own brand products now pass the fine to flush standard, and do not flush labelling is clearer. Our Stop Ocean Threads campaign to address sources of microfibres, and backed by our ocean ambassador, Deborah Meaden, collected over 30,000 signatories to help us get filters fitted to all washing machines. And we convinced many in Parliament as well to take up the call. We worked with investors to put pressures on manufacturers, and the first machine with a filter is now available. Made possible by emergency funding, our engagement and education teams came up with innovative ways to connect with supporters. We created a new ocean literacy programme for primary schools and a youth engagement strategy to help us reach out to this important audience. And on top of all this, our plans for a refreshed strategy, new brand and website were successfully launched in April with extremely positive feedback. I hope this look back gives you heart that together we can make a difference. Once again, thank you for your part in this. It's no exaggeration to say that our planet needs us to succeed. I'd now like to hand over to Sandy, who's going to share our work on climate change.
Thanks, Amanda. And Amanda's just talked brilliantly about the progress that we've made overall over the last year. And I want to really focus in on one key theme that we've been looking at, and that is climate change. Because there is this huge intrinsic link between the health of our ocean and the health of our climate. And we cannot solve one without the other. So we've been really looking at that. And in May, we published our Blue Carbon Report with Rewilding Britain in partnership, which shows how much carbon there is in the sea, in the seabed, in seagrass, in whales, in all sorts of different parts of the sea. And we also started a cross-parliamentary group of blue carbon champions in Westminster. And that group has also been highlighting the value of the sea in terms of blue carbon. And for the first time ever, we attended a conference of the parties of the Climate Change Convention, COP26 in Glasgow. And our goal, rather madly, potentially, was to see the importance of the ocean for climate and addressing climate change reflected in the outcome documents, in the outcomes of those negotiations. And many of us, we didn't expect this to happen, and many other experts didn't either. And probably like many of you, when I heard about the overall outcome of the negotiations in Glasgow, I was angry, I was disappointed. But what we did get, amazingly, incredibly, and brilliantly, is that the outcome documents, both of the Paris Agreement and the Climate Change Convention, recognise the importance of the ocean and of nature, actually, for climate change, and that's brilliant. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to our supporters here, because loads of you engaged. You went out marching on the streets. You listened to our call to listen to the ocean, and you also participated in a digital campaign and responded brilliantly. You were amazing. Thank you. Your voices were heard. So, what does all that mean? What comes next? We must ensure that the ocean is no longer the unsung hero of climate change. Together, we must demand and support and take action to protect our sea. So we have to put pressure on governments and politicians to create and to implement legal measures like phasing out bottom trawling, tackling plastic pollution, managing fisheries properly, things that we're already doing that we need to carry on doing. Secondly, we have to rewild the sea. Innovative, climate-friendly ocean conservation projects, for example, climate-friendly aquaculture or restoring seagrass beds. And thirdly, we have to invest in the sea. Exponentially, we have to scale up ocean finance. And so let's work with economists and investors and ensure that financial systems truly recognise the value of our ocean and the life-giving force of our ocean, rather than just treating it as a cost, as an externality. So again, lots of you gave us feedback after our COP26 survey, which showed that you think we are doing the right things there. You agree with us. You think we're making a difference in relation to climate change. And thank you again. We will keep on doing that. We will ramp up what we do. We will be bold. We will take action. We will be strong, and we will think big, because we know the challenges are huge, and we are convinced that together we can do this. And I'm now going to pass over to my colleague, our head of ocean recovery, Peter Richardson, who is going to talk much more about rewilding of the ocean and lots of those things Amanda and I have just mentioned. Thank you.